At midnight on the U.S.-Mexico border, thousands of gallons of raw sewage suddenly burst into a multi-million-dollar cartel tunnel, flooding it in minutes. The architect of this destruction was a 68-year-old pensioner acting entirely alone, outmaneuvering every tactical government agency in the region. These pipelines are engineering marvels. Cartels invest billions in reinforced walls, complex lighting systems, and dedicated ventilation shafts to move product undetected beneath the surface. Above ground, the state counters with its own massive investment. This rust-colored wall represents a multi-billion-dollar effort, but the resulting conflict often feels like a slow, bureaucratic game of whack-a-mole. Despite the limitless funding of the cartels and the massive defense budgets of the government, both sides were sidelined by one local man who simply wanted his property to be quiet. This retiree's peaceful life ended when he began hearing strange vibrations at 3 a.m., followed by muffled voices and the unmistakable clanking of metal beneath his garden. Most would call the police, but border interventions are often characterized by heavy armor and razor wire. Bypassing the authorities meant avoiding a slow investigation that could have drawn cartel attention to his doorstep before anything was actually solved. He took independent action instead, choosing to silence the noise immediately rather than waiting for a committee to file a report. By stepping outside the law, he was facing a global criminal syndicate without a badge, a team, or any official protection. The retiree happened to have a professional background in municipal pipelines. He understood exactly how the city's hidden infrastructure was wired. This diagram illustrates the municipal plumbing architecture of a typical neighborhood, a complex web of waste lines flowing beneath residential properties. Tracking the vibrations, he mapped the cartel's tunnel pushing through the dirt, identifying a critical vulnerability, where it intersected a major municipal line. The cartel's engineers had built their masterpiece blindly, unaware they were digging into a neighborhood where a local expert knew exactly how to collapse the ground beneath them. He didn't need explosives to destroy the pipeline. He used simple gravity and the flow of the city's waste. Using freshly mixed concrete, he performed a sort of surgical intervention within the pipe, creating a diversion that redirected the local sewer system. The result was a deluge. Thousands of gallons of raw sewage poured directly into the cartel's access points and ventilation grates. The flood destroyed expensive electronics, ruined the product, and left a biohazard stench that would give away the tunnel's location to anyone within a mile. By weaponizing the city's own infrastructure, he rendered the tunnel permanently unusable, achieving a level of total destruction that standard police raids rarely match. When authorities finally discovered the tunnel, they found a multi-million-dollar corridor filled to the ceiling with waste. At first, investigators assumed the flooding was a freak accident, a simple structural failure or a municipal plumbing error. The investigation shifted when they found the unnatural, deliberately poured concrete patch embedded in the city's plumbing above the breach. It was a mundane plumbing repair, but it was clear evidence that the cartel's infrastructure had been targeted and destroyed from the inside out. Authorities followed a paper trail for that specific concrete back to a local hardware store, where a single receipt ultimately identified the saboteur. The cartel had armed guards and engineers. The state had tactical teams. But the man who shut the pipeline down was a retiree with a hardware store loyalty card. Despite the personal risk, he managed to dismantle a billion-dollar operation with remarkable efficiency. The ruined tunnel was eventually sealed for good, and the pensioner became a legend in the borderlands, the man who fought a syndicate to get some sleep. The story is a reminder of what a local expert with a grudge can accomplish. And if you're planning your own act of vigilante sabotage, remember to pay for your concrete in cash.